Chapter 396. At the critical moment, Huang Caishan's expression turned serious. His eyes narrowed into slits as he took a step back with his right foot. His right hand clenched into a fist, and a berserk dark yellow Jin Yuan condensed into a huge Jin Yuan beast head. The beast head had two long dragon whiskers on its mouth, and its eyes were as big as lanterns. As it roared, the air swirled like water, forming funnel-shaped whirlpools. Scarlet Water God Fist, Dark Beast Roar. Rumble. In the next moment, the sword chi slashed out, tearing apart the funnel-shaped whirlpools and exploding violently. The water condensed from the water yuan chi sprayed out in all directions like a fountain, covering a range of over 4 li. The black-robed old man in the middle of the attack hurriedly retreated. The moment he retreated, the water splashed out several meters deep holes on the ground. It had to be known that even if the ground was not made of special metals, it was still made of expensive metals. The aftermath of the battle between the two could pierce through the metal plates from several li away, leaving behind several meters deep holes. If it landed on the old man's body, he would be severely injured even if he did not die. Roar! The Zhen Yuan beast head and the sword chi clashed together, letting out a miserable howl. The horrifying sound wave caused the air to fold up, distorting the scenery. Just a mere sword chi, don't even think of making me take a step back. Break for me. Huang Caishan had misjudged Yi Chen's strength, and was quite shocked. Immediately, he pushed his Zhen Yuan to 100%, and the Zhen Yuan beast head became more and more realistic. There was even a sticky Zhen Yuan liquid dripping from the corner of its mouth, falling on the ground and creating arm-thick holes. Pang! The sword chi exploded, and the fine sword light cut on the Zhen Yuan beast head. The huge recoil made Huang Caishan's right arm tremble and gradually go numb. Fortunately, the sword chi was just a rootless source, and it would eventually be exhausted. On the other hand, the Zhen Yuan beast head was closely related to Huang Caishan, and had enough Zhen Yuan to support it. Bastard, I've underestimated you. Dispersing the Zhen Yuan beast head, Huang Caishan hid his right hand behind his back. Without anyone noticing, Huang Caishan stretched his fingers, calming the numbness on his palm and arm. His face was extremely gloomy. Yi Chen did not follow up with another attack, and said indifferently, "If you only have this much strength, you should step down from the stage. You can't stop my winning streak. I admit that I have indeed underestimated your strength. However, don't think that you can contend against me with just this. You are still not qualified." As the numbness in his arm disappeared, Huang Caishan grinned, revealing his white teeth. An incomparably domineering aura rose. "I was going to teach you a lesson casually, but since you don't know how to appreciate my kindness and are so arrogant, don't blame me for making a fool of you." As he spoke, Huang Caishan's aura became stronger and stronger. Powerful auras collided with each other, forming a funnel whirlpool. Just now, Yi Chen's sword chi had indeed made him suffer a little, but it was not enough to change his expression. In terms of battle strength, he was at least in the top 8 of the wavy cloud region, and there were only 2 or 3 people who could truly convince him, including his big senior brother, the Red Water Miner Master. If his big senior brother knew that he had lost to a nobody, he would undoubtedly be very angry. Moreover, he had not even used his most powerful attack yet, so he did not think that Yi Chen could do anything. Yi Chen shook his head. This person really doesn't know how high the sky is. Never mind, I will let him lose cleanly and see who will be the one making a fool of himself. Are you done yet? I will make you step down from the stage in 3 moves. Huang Caishan's expression froze for a split second, then turned gloomy like water. He stared at Yi Chen, and a cold expression appeared on his face. Very good, within 3 moves, I want to see how you can make me leave the stage. But, the premise is that you can survive the 3rd move. Dong! As soon as he finished speaking, the stage shook violently. It was actually Huang Caishan's foot stomping on the surface of the arena, creating a powerful movement. The thick metal arena cracked open, and Huang Kaishan turned into a dark yellow beam of light, rushing out at an extreme speed. His surging Jin Yuan condensed into a massive demonic beast behind him. Taste my red water sex low-rank profound martial art, water beast fist wave. 1 punch, 2 punches, 3 punches, in an instant. Huang Kaishan threw out 18 punches, each of which condensed a Jin Yuan whirlpool. The 18 whirlpools were like the source of a flood, surging and exploding. 3 by 3, the fist energy suddenly increased by 3 times, enveloping Yi Chen's position. Yi Chen could neither retreat nor dodge, so he could only face it head-on. The red water sex water beast fist wave is something that even the leader admires. It combines defense, attack, and locking into one. After 3 moves, the one to step down from the stage will not be Huang Kaishan, but Yi Chen. Mysterious Moon Prince had lost the 66th battle, so he was not in a good mood. Right then, he was watching the battle with the attitude of watching a joke. He seemed to have already seen Yi Chen's miserable and pale face. In another VIP room, Qing Zhu mumbled, "I told him not to be so cocky." Now, his defeat at Huang Kaishan's hands is already a foregone conclusion. The battle is not over yet. Just keep watching and you will know. Although Feng Yanro said that, she was actually a bit worried about Yi Chen. Although his power did not seem to be weaker than his, he did not have any powerful killing moves. If the Ice Snow Sword domain focused on defense, then the Water Beast Fist wave focused on offense. Moreover, the speed was not faster than Huang Kaishan's fist speed, which meant that he could not dodge at all. In the audience seating, everyone had a regretful look on their faces. In their opinion, Yi Chen's 29-win streak was the limit. After all, who would know that Huang Kaishan would appear on the 30th battle? Huang Kaishan was the second disciple of the Redwater Martial School after all. How could there be an idiot from a famous martial school? Unfortunately, if it were not for Huang Kaishan, Yi Chen would have at least reached 40 wins. Even 50 wins was not impossible. What a pity. The air froze, and even time seemed to have stopped. The 18 whirlpools combined into 6 bathtub-sized whirlpools, completely sealing Yi Chen within. The whole space was under the attack of the fist power. It seems to be even harder to deal with than the Black Dragon Tyrant Fist of the Black Dragon Empire. Yi Chen did not move at all. He still had the time to analyze the mysteries of the Water Beast Fist wave. It was the same as the Black Dragon Tyrant Fist, both required one to comprehend the Water Profound. However, the Black Dragon Tyrant Fist completely used the Water Profound for offense. Because it was purely offensive, it was harder to comprehend. Therefore, the Black Dragon Tyrant Fist performed by the Black Dragon Empire's prince was obviously not as good as Huang Kaishan's Water Beast Fist wave. Green Lotus Sky. Quietly increasing his sword intent, Yi Chen held the sword with both of his hands and poured the pure green lotus Jin Yuan into the longsword. The sword light shone brightly. As he slashed out, a 10-meter-long hole appeared in the frozen air, breaking the sealing power of the Water Beast Fist wave. In the next second, a thick sword light swept out like a crescent moon, instantly landing on the 6 Jin Yuan whirlpools. Crackle. The whirlpools shattered one after another, unable to stop the sword light at all. The sword light took root in the air, growing stronger and stronger. A horrifying energy chi suddenly wrapped Huang Kaishan up into the sky. Impossible. The Water Beast Fist wave broke. The teacup in Mysterious Moon Prince's hand exploded. Qingzhu's mouth was wide open, his face full of disbelief. Feng Yanro's eyes were filled with a strange light. Yi Chen had first broken Qingzhu's Ice Snow Sword realm, and now he had broken Huang Kaishan's Water Beast Fist wave. His sword was indeed powerful. Breaking my Water Beast Fist wave? How is this possible? Impossible. Wrapped by the sword light, the demonic beast shadow outside Huang Kaishan's body quickly dimmed down. His eyes turned red as he roared. The demonic beast shook, shattering the rich sword light. Before his body landed on the ground, Huang Kaishan pushed up his Jin Yuan and drew a low arc in the air, attacking toward Yi Chen again. His sharp Jin Yuan ripple tore out a deep ravine on the platform. Take another fist of mine. I will beat you. 18 whirlpools appeared, condensing into 6 bathtub-sized whirlpools. This time, the whirlpools rotated even faster, sucking out all the water Yuan Qi in the surroundings. Go back. This time, Yi Chen did not plan to break the attack again. The long sword in his hand danced, creating countless green lotuses. The explosively expanding sword light bloomed one after another, turning from weak to strong. The huge sword flower almost covered half of the platform. Not only did it cancel out Huang Kaishan's fist power, it also pressed him down onto the ground. Huang Kaishan still wanted to counterattack, but Yi Chen had already lost interest. Open. Holding the sword with one hand, Yi Chen chopped down vertically. Boom! The sword chi had not yet arrived, but the roaring sword wind had already rushed out. Huang Kaishan was extremely shocked. He could feel that from the void, there was a huge sword that could split mountains descending. If he did not escape, he would definitely be killed by the sword. Although killing was forbidden on the platform, how could he hide the fear in the depths of his heart? Run! Not caring about his dignity, Huang Kaishan exploded with his unprecedented potential. He shot out, fleeing in panic to avoid Yi Chen's attack. The corner of Yi Chen's mouth curled up. He had been waiting for Huang Kaishan to go down himself. After all, this sword attack was used to scare the opponent, lest the latter thought that he had won by a narrow margin and caused many troubles. After Huang Kaishan left the platform, Yi Chen did not have to worry anymore. Crack! In the void, a 1-mile-long, 300-meter-tall transparent sword curtain appeared. The sword curtain had divided the platform into two. The sharp chi flow leaked out, tearing open hideous sword marks on the ground around the platform. This horrifying chi flow, every trace of it could definitely cut the hard metal into powder. As Yi Chen threw out his sword, the hearts of the audience on the opposite side suddenly stopped. Even from 10 miles away, they could feel the horrifying power of this sword attack. They suspected that Yi Chen would split the entire audience in half and turn them into minced meat. So horrifying. This is a sword artist with incomparably powerful attack power. This sword attack seemed to have hit my heart. Damn it, I almost died. Just when the audience's hearts were about to recover, the special metal cast platform suddenly cracked open, and the 2 miles long and wide platform tilted to the side. This time, the black-robed elder was dumbfounded. The platform was 2 miles long and wide, and also 100 meters thick. Although it was not as hard as a low-rank great weapon, it was more than 2 times stronger than normal metal. What kind of attack could split the platform in half? That broken section was so smooth that it could be used as a mirror, making people's hair stand on end. The attack power is indeed not bad, but this is your trump card, right? Stupid. Mysterious Moon Prince showed a cold smile on his face. Chapter 397. Didn't I say he killed 13 late astral reaching experts with one sword strike? You guys didn't believe me. Now, do you believe me? Someone in the spectator stand said. Don't you think it's too absurd? Moreover, you said he used a fast sword strike, not a powerful one. Yeah, indeed. Although this strike could also kill 13 late astral reaching experts, it was a crushing attack. At that time, he passed through 13 people, and all 13 of them had their throats slit. It was definitely a fast sword strike among fast swords, different from this one. Don't tell me he was hiding his strength. Frightening, truly a frightening sword artist. He seems to be only 21 years old. How many peak geniuses around 21 years old do we have in the southern sector? There are a lot of peak geniuses. Among them, there is the head disciple of the Red Water sect, little Taoist red water. However, he is already 24 years old, and the head disciple of the Snowdrift Hall is also 25 years old. Finding someone around 21 years old is very difficult. However, these two are the first tier of peak geniuses. I reckon that even Yi Chen can't compare. In the eyes of the spectators, Yi Chen was at the same level as Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro. Of course, because Yi Chen only had 30 wins in a row, the majority of the spectators were more optimistic about the two. Once Yi Chen reached 60 wins in a row, he would have the qualifications to compete with the two. Huang Kaishan was forced off the stage by Yi Chen. His face was a mix of green and red, and he was in an extremely sorry state. There was a fierce look hidden in the depths of his eyes, but when he thought of the power of Yi Chen's sword, he felt a lingering fear. Although my Water Beast Fist Wave has reached 10% mastery and can increase the fist force by 3 times, the fist force is not perfectly combined and can be easily scattered. The true effect is only 2 times the fist force, otherwise he would not be able to break it. However, it's not like I didn't gain anything. Water Beast Fist Wave becomes stronger when encountering strong opponents. It can only be perfected in battle. Next time, I'll make you pay me back with interest. Not having the face to stay on the stage, Huang Kaishan's figure flickered and entered the VIP lounge. It seems quite powerful. But, Senior Sister Feng, you should be able to suppress it, right? Qingzhu turned her head and looked at Feng Yenro. Feng Yenro shook her head, do not underestimate him. That sword attack just now, he purposely slowed it down by half a beat. It is obvious that he has full control of that sword attack. You should know that for people at our level, the true ultimate killing attacks are not something that we can control completely. Feng Yenro was a sword artist, and an extreme astral reaching realm one at that. Therefore, she could see more things from Yi Chen. In the arena, Yi Chen sheathed his sword. This Huang Kaishan can barely be counted as an extreme astral reaching expert. If he were outside the arena and equipped with a mid-rank defensive and offensive artifact, he would be considered average among extreme astral reaching experts. He would be a bit weaker than Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro. Unfortunately, he could only force out 30% of my strength. With 50% of my strength, I could easily suppress an astral reaching paragon. Among the young generation and even the older generation, there has never been an existence that could reach the level of paragon without an upper rank artifact. Perhaps there might be, but it would be meaningless. Perhaps there might be, but it would be meaningless. Yi Chen was very clear about his own situation. His battle power was twice that of an astral reaching paragon. If it was spread out, it would be extremely shocking. Therefore, he did not want to be too ostentatious. The tallest tree in the forest would be blown away by the wind. This logic was very true. If he exposed his true strength and made enemies in the future, it would be hard to guarantee that no Sea of Soul Realm warriors would chase after him. After all, he could only compete with the lowest level Sea of Soul Realm warriors, and his chances of winning were not high. What made him not know whether to laugh or cry was that he had already suppressed most of his power, but the others still thought that he was too ostentatious. If he wanted to be ostentatious, even 10 or 20 extreme astral reaching realm warriors would not be enough. 30 wins in a row represented the end of Yi Chen's battles for the day. It was already the next morning. The continuous battle against Feng Yenro had begun. Since the Mysterious Moon Prince's battle had come to an end, ending at 65 wins in a row, all of the extreme astral reaching realm warriors of the Blue Mountain Nation had gathered in the Blue Mountain City's battling arena, wanting to end Feng Yenro's winning streak with everyone's power. The Blue Mountain Nation did not allow too many people to reach 70 wins in a row, which was their bottom line. In the audience seating, a lot of people who thought that they had the power did not even have the time to stand up and challenge Feng Yenro. It was because the extreme astral reaching realm warriors of the Blue Mountain Nation had entered the arena one after another, without any pause in between. The purpose of the continuous battle was to not give the opponent any time to rest. In the first 3 battles, Feng Yenro had won rather easily. She did not even need to use her Ice Snow Sword realm. In the 4th battle, Feng Yenro had used up too much of her battling power, so she had to use her Ice Snow Sword realm to protect herself and beat her opponent off the stage. All in all, she had an easier time than the mysterious Moon Prince. It was not that the mysterious Moon Prince was not as powerful as Feng Yenro, it was just that in terms of stamina, he was slightly weaker than her. The martial arts of the mysterious Moon Pavilion were mostly based on the word mysterious, which allowed them to change their styles and methods constantly, making it impossible for their opponents to see through them. Therefore, in the early stages, the mysterious Moon Prince had an easier time than Feng Yenro, and he had won in a clean manner. In the later stages, Feng Yenro was more powerful than him. The more powerful the opponent was, the more it showed the toughness of the martial arts of the floating snow palace. Especially the Ice Snow Sword realm, which seemed to cost a lot of Zhen Yuan, but after a battle, it could completely block out the opponent's attacks without needing to use other martial arts, which saved a lot of Zhen Yuan. Seeing that Feng Yenro had won the 5th battle, the mysterious Moon Prince's face looked a bit bad. No matter if Feng Yenro won or lost, 65 wins in a row was already set in stone. If she won even one more battle, then the champion of this year would naturally change hands, which made him very unhappy. Speaking of which, it was not that he did not have feelings for Feng Yenro, but it was because of this that he would not allow her to beat him. It was a matter of dignity between a man and a woman. Huang Kaishan forced a laugh, fighting one-on-one, she would not be your opponent. Still, you cannot underestimate her. Breaking through the Ice Snow Sword realm will be very hard. But, no matter how powerful the defense is, the body will still have a limit. Although the mysterious Moon Prince said that, he already had an answer in his heart. Battling with Feng Yenro, his chance of winning would not be more than 50%. Of course, he believed that he would win in the end, because he valued winning more than anyone else. In the 6th battle, Feng Yenro was having a hard time. The opponent's power was much weaker than her in her normal condition. Unfortunately, she was not even at 60% of her normal condition. She was completely relying on the intricacy of her martial arts, and could not fight head-on. With the patience of a sword artist and the ability to find flaws, Feng Yenro bit her teeth and threw out a deadly attack, breaking through her opponent's defense. The 6th battle, she won. Up until now, Feng Yenro had already won 66 battles in a row, one more than the mysterious Moon Prince. She was ranked 14th. The 7th battle had not yet begun, but Feng Yenro had already given up. If it were a life-and-death battle, she would have the confidence to win the 7th battle. But, she would also be wounded badly. But, this was the challenge tournament, not a life-and-death battle. 66 wins in a row. She has surpassed the mysterious Moon Prince. Impressive. I wonder who will be able to break this record this year. Now, only the challenge tournament in the Blue Water City is left. Perhaps we can find the answer there. Once Feng Yenro's battle ended, a lot of people lost their interest. What they wanted to see the most was how far Yi Qin could go. Yi Qin did not watch Feng Yenro's battle, since it did not matter anymore. From 60 to 70 wins in a row was the hardest part. After 70 to 80 wins in a row, it would be a bit easier. At least, the challengers would be the previous batch of extreme astral reaching realm warriors, and he would have some understanding of their styles. In the Blue Water City's battling stadium, everyone in the audience seats shook their heads. 40 wins in a row. This is too easy. Every battle is finished within 5 moves. It does not cost any Zhen Yuan at all. Over there, Feng Yenro has stopped at 66 wins in a row. Let's see if Yi Qin can break it. Another day passed. On this day, Yi Qin expanded his results, turning 40 wins into 50 wins in a row. The 8 peak astral reaching realm warriors sent by the Blue Mountain Nation did not give him any trouble. The remaining 2 were warriors with 50 wins in a row, and their strength was at the extreme astral reaching realm. Yi Chen played with them for a couple of moves before winning easily. Inside the VIP room, the old man surnamed Wu's face turned serious as he said in a low voice, "We misjudged him. This person is even more troublesome than the mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro. Then, should we start the tag battle in advance?" The people beside him asked. "No, we can't do it right now. The tag battle is set between 60 to 70 wins in a row, and it is not without reason. At least, with the extra 10 battles, we will be able to see more things." "You're right. I really don't know where this kid came from. One mysterious Moon Prince and one Feng Yenro are enough to give them a headache." The old man surnamed Wu suddenly thought of something and laughed. "Actually, we don't need to worry too much. He will definitely not surpass 70 wins in a row." "What do you mean?" Everyone was confused. After watching for so many days, they still could not figure out Yi Chen's bottom line. The success rate of tag battle was worrying, as it was only 70% at most. It should be known that when they were fighting against the mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro, they already knew that it would succeed. Their success rate was above 90%, and it was almost impossible to fail. In fact, it was indeed so. The mysterious Moon Prince had lost in the 6th battle, and Feng Yenro in the 7th. Not to mention, there were still several battles waiting for them, each one more deadly than the last. The old man surnamed Wu said mysteriously, "We only have 70% certainty. What if we add in the mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro, or even a few other warriors with 50 wins in a row?" "You mean, put them all into the tag battle formation?" "That's right. Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro's power are much higher than us individually. Those warriors with 50 wins in a row are also stronger than half of us. With them, how high do you think the success rate will be?" 100%, definitely 100%. Ha! Everyone in the VIP lounge started to laugh. In the history, the most powerful warrior who had won 100 battles in a row was the one who had won 100 battles in a row. Although he had lost, he had still made his opponent feel bad. Compared to that warrior, Yi Chen was not worth mentioning at all. It was like the difference between a child and an adult. Mysterious Moon Prince might have a chance, but I don't think Feng Yenro will agree. A couple of days ago, she and Yi Chen met in the tea house. Someone suggested. The old man surnamed Wu said confidently, "No, you are wrong. Since they are all young warriors, they definitely have the heart to compete. Mysterious Moon Prince will agree, so will Feng Yenro. Plus, even without Feng Yenro, our success rate will still be 100%. Mysterious Moon Prince has accepted half of the tag battle, and he alone is equivalent to 5. With him, there will be no problem." Chapter 398. Yi Chen still did not know that a group of extreme astral reaching realm warriors from the Blue Mountain Nation were planning a powerful team to stop his 70 wins in a row. Of course, even if he knew, he would not care. Right now, all he could focus on was the Soul Stone reward. For 30 wins in a row, the Soul Stone reward for the first battle was 1,400 mid-rank Soul Stones, 2,400 for the second battle, 3,400 for the third battle, a total of 59,000 mid-rank Soul Stones. For 40 wins in a row, the Soul Stone reward for the first battle was 1,600 mid-rank Soul Stones, 2,600 for the second battle, 3,600 for the third battle, a total of 61,000 mid-rank Soul Stones. For 50 wins in a row, the Soul Stone reward for the first battle was 1,800 mid-rank Soul Stones, 2,800 for the second battle, 3,800 for the third battle, a total of 63,000 mid-rank Soul Stones. Adding the Soul Stone reward for the 10 and 20 wins in a row, Yi Chen had already earned 290,000 mid-rank Soul Stones. There were still 50 wins in a row before he could earn 500 top-ranked soul stones. For a normal astral-reaching realm warrior, they could probably earn that much in their lifetime. Under normal circumstances, having tens of thousands of mid-rank soul stones on them would already be quite good. This world is indeed a world where the powerful ones are respected. The same astral-reaching realm warriors can earn 10 or even 100 times more. Yi Chen suddenly felt very emotional. Normal astral-reaching realm warriors were still worried about not having a mid-rank great weapon, while the astral-reaching realm warriors at the top of the pyramid would have enough soul stones to buy 10 mid-rank great weapons. As for himself, buying 50 mid-rank great weapons would not be a problem at all, and that did not include the value of the treasures he had on him. For example, the gold armor was a top-ranked defensive great weapon. If there was a market for it, it would not be a problem to sell it for 50 or 60,000 top-ranked soul stones. Just one gold armor would be more than all of his wealth. Experts who have won 10 matches in a row will not receive spirit stones as a reward for participating in the competition within 3 months. However, their winning streak will be counted. Warriors with 20 wins in a row would not get any spirit stones as a reward for 9 months. Warriors with 30 wins in a row would have to wait for 2 years, 40 wins in a row would have to wait for 5 years, and 50 wins in a row would have to wait for 10 years. It is indeed very strict, preventing some of the powerful warriors from trying to earn a fortune through the battles. Plus, the higher the winning record, the longer it would take for them to get the spirit stones as a reward. As for those who are trying to find loopholes and not getting 10 wins in a row, the Blue Mountain Nation should have a way to deal with them as well. After all, the top 5 Sea of Souls realm warriors are not there for nothing. Think about the consequences of messing around. No matter how many spirit stones you have, it would not be as important as your life. Since that's the case, let's earn as much as we can in one go. Yi Chen put away the 50 winning streak token and 29 boxes of medium-grade spirit stones before he turned around and left the battle arena. Mysterious Moon Prince, what do you think? Inside a private room of a restaurant, the extreme astral-reaching realm warrior from the Blue Mountain Nation, the elder named Wu, said with a smile. The Mysterious Moon Prince glanced at him. You guys have indeed made a good plan. Asking me to help you stop Yi Chen. If I am not wrong, you guys have also invited Feng Yanro, right? This way, the success rate of this battle would be at least 100%, and there would be no chance of failure. Prince, you are right. Miss Feng Yanro is also on the list. How much is the reward? He had been wanting to meet Yi Chen for a long time, but he, the Mysterious Moon Prince, would never do meaningless things. So, there had to be enough reward. The old man surnamed Wu raised 3 fingers. If you join the battle, we will give you 100,000 medium-grade spirit stones right away. The other 200,000 will have to wait until you win against Yi Chen. If I win against Yi Chen, I will add another 100,000. The Mysterious Moon Prince said without hesitation. The elder hesitated a little bit. In fact, this time, the Blue Mountain Nation had given the Mysterious Moon Prince a starting price of 400,000 medium-grade spirit stones. He did not expect the Mysterious Moon Prince to be this greedy and ask for 400,000 medium-grade spirit stones right away. But, the Mysterious Moon Prince was a key figure, and Feng Yanro was not sure yet. Alright, it is a deal. The elder paused for a second, then asked, I wonder which battle you would like to fight in. The 65th battle. Setting it at the 65th battle was not completely meaningless, since the Mysterious Moon Prince would lose in the 66th battle. In the 65th battle, he would prepare to beat Yi Chen. On the second floor of the restaurant, Feng Yanro looked away from the Mysterious Moon Prince, while Qingzhu, who was standing right next to her, had a shocked expression on her face. In order to deal with Yi Chen, the Mysterious Moon Prince had actually come to invite her sister Feng. Was that Yi Chen really that hard to deal with? She thought that the Mysterious Moon Prince was also on the list. Inviting my sister Feng, you should at least give some reward. Qingzhu interrupted first. The extreme astral reaching realm warrior in front of her laughed, "Miss, you are thinking too much. If Miss Feng agrees to this plan, there will be no less than 100,000 mid-rank spirit stones. Plus, if you win against Yi Chen, there will be 200,000 mid-rank spirit stones. In other words, if you win against Yi Chen, you will get 300,000 in total. This is not a bad deal. Sister, why don't you agree?" Qing Zhu looked at Feng Yenro. Feng Yenro shook her head, "I do not need any reward." The mysterious Moon Prince's expression changed, then he forced a smile. "You misunderstood me. I do not need any reward. But, I will challenge Yi Chen. Just put me in the first place. I want to have a fair battle with him." Feng Yenro had her own principles. Yi Chen could already be considered as her friend. Although it was just a normal kind of friendship, a friend was a friend. How could she do something that would harm him just for a reward? Therefore, accepting the reward was wrong in itself. As for accepting Yi Chen's challenge, it was her own idea. In the young generation, no one would be afraid of anyone. If she did not challenge him, it would mean that she was afraid, and subconsciously did not want to battle with him, which would not be a good thing for her. Hearing her, the mysterious Moon Prince revealed a smile. As the night fell, a guest arrived at Yi Chen's hotel room. It was Feng Yenro. Pouring a cup of tea for her, Yi Chen observed her expression. "What do you want to tell me?" Feng Yenro nodded. "The day after tomorrow, I will challenge you in the first battle. If I have guessed it right, then there will be the mysterious Moon Prince as well." "Oh." Yi Chen rubbed his chin and laughed. "This time, the lineup is indeed powerful. Are you not worried at all?" "Worried about what?" Feng Yenro glanced at Yi Chen and thought about it. "Perhaps I came in the wrong place. But, in the day after tomorrow, I will give it my all. I will face it seriously as well." After sending off Feng Yenro, Yi Chen revealed a strange expression. Shaking his head, he closed the door and walked into his bedroom. The battles on the second day went without any surprises. Yi Chen went through all the challenges and got 60 wins in a row. Some of the more observant people noticed that there was not a single drop of sweat on Yi Chen's body. This made the extreme astral reaching realm warriors from the Blue Mountain Nation who were observing Yi Chen in the VIP room feel a bit depressed. But then, thinking about the addition of the mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro, they felt relieved. Luckily, this time would be different. Feng Yenro would challenge Yi Chen in the first battle. Even if she lost, she would be able to use up half of Yi Chen's power, since Feng Yenro had gotten 66 wins in a row. She also had the extremely powerful Ice Snow Sword realm, which had an unimaginable defense. Trying to break through that powerful Ice Snow Sword realm would be enough to give Yi Chen a headache. In the 65th battle, the mysterious Moon Prince would appear. By then, Yi Chen would already be exhausted, and there would be no chance for him to win. In other words, Yi Chen's victory would most likely end in the 65th battle. 90% sure. What is there to worry about? The elder named Wu picked up his teacup and took a sip leisurely. Over at the audience seating, as Yi Chen had gotten 60 wins in a row, the crowd started to get excited. Finally, 60 wins in a row. Not many people had expected this. Yeah, 50 wins in a row is already impressive. 60 wins in a row, and there were only 3 of them this year. Normally, it would be impressive if there was one every year. But, the real test will be coming. Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro both lost between 60 to 70 wins in a row. I wonder if Yi Chen will have any hope. There is definitely hope, but of course, it is very small. What I am more concerned about is how many battles Yi Chen can last. Mysterious Moon Prince lost in the 6th battle, and Feng Yenro gave up in the 7th battle. I feel that Yi Chen might be a bit more powerful. I have the same feeling as well. Not necessarily. Being powerful in the early stages does not mean that he will be powerful in the later stages. After 60 wins in a row, everyone would be at the extreme astral reaching realm. The pressure would not be small at all. Perhaps, Yi Chen would not even be able to last until the fifth battle. This kind of intense discussion continued all the way until the next morning. It was early in the morning, and the battling field was already packed with people. A lot of people had spent 50 mid-rank soul stones, but did not even have a place to sit, so they had to stand on the empty ground. Yi Chen is coming up. Right after one person had finished his seventh win, Yi Chen jumped onto the stage. As for the people who had just won, they had to step down temporarily and wait for Yi Chen's battle to finish. The winning record would be counted as one win. Standing in the middle of the stage, Yi Chen looked in a certain direction. Crack! The door of the VIP room was opened, and Feng Yanro walked out. What? The first challenger is Feng Yanro? What is going on? Feng Yanro is the first challenger. The chance of Yi Chen reaching 70 wins in a row is unimaginably low. Feng Yanro's power on the surface is no weaker than Yi Chen's. Yi Chen might lose the first battle. Even if he manages to win, there would be no hope for him to win the second battle. It was too unexpected. A lot of people were still in shock. They thought that it would still be the same group of extreme astral reaching realm warriors challenging Yi Chen. Who would have thought that Feng Yanro would be the first one? Everyone knew how powerful Feng Yanran was, especially her ice snow sword realm. Shoo! Flying onto the stage, Feng Yanro put her right hand on the handle of the long sword from the Blue Mountain Island and said, "Sorry for the offense, please." Yi Chen nodded, "Go ahead." Flying snow sky. Taking out her long sword, Feng Yanro performed the top-rank Earth Realm sword art from the snowy martial school right away. The sword movement Flying Snow Sky was performed by Feng Yanro, and its power was 2 times more powerful than Qingzhu's. One could only see snow falling in the air as the sword chi brought up waves of blizzard, attacking towards Yi Chen. Boom! The blizzard was shattered, and the sword chi exploded. Yi Chen, who was wearing blue robes, was not injured at all. All of the incoming attacks had been sliced into nothingness by his sword attack. Ice flower competition. Feng Yanro frowned as her body flew into the air. She waved out a sword attack, and countless ice flowers appeared in the air. Under the sunlight, the ice flowers shone with a colorful light. Along with beams of sword chi, they spun and attacked towards Yi Chen from all directions. Chapter 399. Miss Feng, I think you should use all of your power. Yi Chen walked forward, the long sword in his hand waving casually in the air, shattering a huge chunk of ice. The sword chi wave had opened up countless cracks on the platform. Occasionally, 1 or 2 sword attacks had even shaved off a corner of the platform. The good thing was that the platform was made of countless metal cubes. Even if it was damaged, it could be replaced on the same night, ensuring that it could still be used the next day. Therefore, before that, the platform would be perfectly fine, and would not collapse in a short period of time. Feng Yanro gritted her teeth as she performed a sword spell with her left hand. A shockingly powerful Zhen Yuan vibration spread out, and the intense chi field caused her long black hair to dance in the air. The snowflake pattern on her forehead shone once, and a layer of slightly silver-white light shield appeared out of her body. Inside the light shield, the sword light was moving, its head connected to the tail. Its speed was twice as fast as Qingzhu's, but its size was a bit smaller. However, the smaller the sword light was, the tighter the layers of defense were. It was so tight that it seemed to be unbreakable. Under the pressure from Yi Chen, Feng Yanro finally performed her ice snow sword realm. It would have been better if she did not fight with Yi Chen, but once she did, Feng Yanro finally felt the hopelessness of being in control of the situation. Each of Yi Chen's sword attacks seemed to be very simple, but it was this kind of ease that was the scariest. You would not know when he would suddenly attack, or when he would find your flaws and chase after you. If there were different types of sword artists, some of them would be like wolves, who were tough and unyielding, some of them would be like snakes, who would kill once they moved, and some of them would be like tigers, who would be aggressive. However, Yi Chen was obviously a fully armed hunter, and the whole situation was under his control. Feng Yenro had never felt this kind of soul-piercing pressure from any astral-reaching realm sword artist. Today was the first time. Therefore, after throwing out 2 sword attacks, she had to perform her Ice Snow Sword Realm. With the sword realm protecting her body, Feng Yenro's sword aura increased drastically. She waved her sword, and the whole platform was covered in sword chi. Swoosh! 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 Facing the overwhelming sword chi, Yi Chen suddenly stretched out his left hand with a calm expression. Everyone watching the battle was confused, not knowing what Yi Chen was going to do at this critical moment. Could it be that he was going to catch that rain-like sword chi with his bare hands? What a joke! With the amplification of the Ice Snow Sword Realm, every beam of sword chi that Feng Yenro shot out was extra sharp, like steel needles. Feng Yenro was also confused. Her eyes locked onto Yi Chen, while the long sword in her hand seemed to have disappeared into the surreal space. Hiss! Raising the index and middle fingers of his left hand, a stream of soft sword chi suddenly appeared. Following the trajectory of Yi Chen's fingers, the sword chi spread out and cut the space around him into pieces, crisscrossing. This ribbon-like sword chi was evolved from the green lotus sword chi inside Yi Chen's body. It was originally as thick as a finger, but now it was like a steel wire, shining with a green light. Pitter-patter. The next second, endless sword chi attacked down, almost drowning Yi Chen in it. However, from Yi Chen's perspective, those steel needle-like sword chi had all been cut open in the middle. None of them landed on Yi Chen's body, as they were all cut open by the stretched green lotus sword chi. Crack! With his left hand activating the sword chi defense, Yi Chen's right hand was not idle either. He waved down, and the sword chi tore open the air. On the Ice Snow Sword Realm outside of Feng Yenro's body, a beam of sword light went right in front of her. It went over her head and then behind her. At first glance, people would think that the Ice Snow Sword Realm had been cut open. After backing out for 10 steps, Feng Yenro finally stopped, her face a little pale. He is so powerful. He has suppressed me so easily. Feng Yenro was shocked. She operated her mind art, trying her best to suppress the boiling chi and blood in her body, recovering to her peak condition. Green Lotus Chi. Unlimited combo. Keeping his battling power at around 35%, Yi Chen stood on his tiptoes and floated into the air. He waved his Blue Mountain Island longsword in the air. 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 huge green lotuses were formed, floating in front of Yi Chen's body. These 5 lotuses were all made of sharp chi flow. With a slight shake, they turned into thousands of chopstick-sized sword chi, shooting out. If Feng Yenro's sword chi was like a storm before, then right now, Yi Chen's sword chi was like a flood. The sword chi flood crashed into his opponent's Ice Snow Sword Realm. Pooh! 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 All of a sudden, Feng Yenro did not even know how many times she had been attacked. Her Ice Snow Sword Realm was on the verge of collapsing. Not good. The Ice Snow Sword Realm is about to collapse. No matter how powerful the defense was, there would still be a limit. One drop of water might not be able to pierce through a rock, but after a long time, even a rock would be pierced through. Feng Yenro could already hear the struggling screams of the Ice Snow Sword Realm. Ice Snow Sword Realm, Feng Yenro was about to change her Ice Snow Sword Realm into its attacking mode to break the situation, but Yi Chen seemed to have read her mind. His sword chi was even more aggressive and dense, pushing her back continuously. With each step she took, that metal platform would crack and turn into powder. Swoosh! A cloth-tearing sound was heard one after another. The Ice Snow Sword Realm had been broken through. Over at the audience seating, everyone was shocked. What was power? This was power, not giving his opponent any chance to fight back. Since the Ice Snow Sword realm had a powerful defense, then he would use 10 times or even 100 times more powerful attacks to tear it apart. The sharpness of a sword artist had been fully displayed by Yi Chen. I have lost. Feng Yanro was sad. She had never thought that there would be a day when she would not even be able to fight back in a battle with the same cultivation. No matter how powerful her attacks were, if they could not land on her opponent, then what would be the point? In the VIP room, Qingzhu opened her mouth, not knowing what to say. Could an astral-reaching realm warrior really shoot out that many sword chi? Using the amount of sword chi to break through an even more powerful defense? Inside the VIP room where all of the extreme astral-reaching realm warriors from the Blue Mountain Nation were gathered. It was completely silent. Everyone was speechless. The elder with the surname Wu came back to his senses, rubbing his temples. We have still underestimated him. Perhaps, we will have to wait until the 7th or 8th battle before we can succeed. The 7th or 8th battle. The people next to him were shocked. We have Feng Yanro and the mysterious Moon Prince on our side. Why would we need to wait until then? Yeah, although he had beaten Feng Yanro, he must have used up a lot of Jin Yuan. Elder Wu, you are worrying too much. Am I really worrying too much? The elder with the surname Wu had seen way too many young warriors, but none of them were as calm as Yi Chen, as if everything was under his control. Perhaps I am worrying too much. From the 2nd to the 4th battle, we should be able to see something. The sword chi disappeared as Yi Chen said, your sword is broken. Just as he finished speaking, the long sword in Feng Yanro's hand exploded, turning into thousands of metal pieces. With an unnatural blush on her face, Feng Yanro asked, please tell me, is this your real power? She had thought a lot about this battle, and the biggest possibility was that Yi Chen had not revealed his real power yet. For a second, she saw an extremely cold sharpness deep inside Yi Chen's eyes. It was the kind of sharpness that could tear apart everything and ignore everything, which made her heart stop beating. This person was extremely frightening inside. Maybe, maybe not. Yi Chen did not answer directly. I got it. He had already given her the answer. After Feng Yanro left the stage, the second extreme astral-reaching realm warrior went up. As soon as he got on the stage, he attacked Yi Chen with all of his power. He was afraid that if he did not attack first, he would not have the chance to do so. Yi Chen was still as calm as before. After dispersing his opponent's attack, he counterattacked again and again, until his opponent admitted defeat with a pale face. The third extreme astral-reaching realm warrior was a lot more cautious. Up until now, it was not that they had not studied Yi Chen's characteristics and style, but the conclusion they got was that he did not have any characteristics or style. The only thing he had was sharpness. Instead of wasting time on studying, it would be better to delay the battle as much as possible and waste his opponent's Jin Yuan. After 5 attacks, he lost. He lost even faster than the previous one because he was too cautious. He did not want to fight with Yi Chen head-on, so he tried to increase the distance and fight from a distance. In the end, he only received 5 attacks before losing completely. Don't play with tactics. None of us are his opponent. His battling experience is already at the master level. The elder reminded the 4th warrior. Yes. Even without Old Man Wu's reminder, one of the participants knew what to do. On the stage, Yi Chen watched the 4th warrior challenge him with a very cold expression on his face. Up until now, his battling power had been suppressed to around 25%. Feng Yanro's Ice Snow Sword realm was too powerful, so he increased it to 35%, trying to create an absolutely balanced battle. Unfortunately, with the same conditions and battling power, there were not many people who could last more than 10 attacks. But, he was also clear that it was not because these people were weak, but because his battling techniques were too powerful. Immortal Sword Art, Destruction Sword Art, and slaughter sword art, he had learned 3 great sword arts at once. Although his battling power did not increase directly, his battling techniques were horrifying. Battle King, Iron Sword King, and Double Sword King, which one of them was not in existence that could look down on the whole continent? If Yi Qin could combine the 3 sword arts together, he would be able to reach the ancient Sword King realm when he entered the life and death realm. Ding! Dang! Dang! After exchanging 5 attacks with the 4th warrior, Yi Qin broke his opponent's weapon with 1 sword attack, and the tip of his sword was on his throat. Is he a monster? Winning all 4 battles without any difficulty. Indeed frightening. It gives me goosebumps. Everyone was discussing. Right then, the sound of the door opening was heard from the VIP room where Mysterious Moon Prince was. Mysterious Moon Prince is on the stage. I wonder if he can beat Yi Qin. Shoo! Like the moon in the water, Mysterious Moon Prince's body flashed, and the air rippled. Without a sound, he arrived on the stage. If this is all you have, then you will have no chance of winning against me. I wonder if you can still keep this calm attitude after you lose to me. Mysterious Moon Prince was not Feng Yenro. He did not have the Ice Snow Sword realm, but he had a low-rank profound sense martial art that could compete with it. In his opinion, facing Yi Qin, defense alone was not enough. Therefore, Feng Yenro, who was at the same level as him, had lost. His attacks were all illusions, which made them even more unpredictable. Chapter 400. Whether or not I can do it depends on my power. You are walking on the illusion Tao, which can disturb my mind and move my will. Let me see if you can shake my will. Yi Qin had seen the Mysterious Moon Prince's battles before, and he knew that his movements were complicated. It looked like he was defending, but he was actually attacking. It looked like he was attacking, but he was actually defending. Attacking and defending were both unpredictable and unpredictable, without any clear dividing line. This was the illusion Tao in the martial arts, which used illusions as the main theme and the core to drive the others. Everyone can talk big, but only a few can actually do it. There is no point in talking anymore. Take my water moon palm attack first. His body floated up into the air as he threw out a palm attack towards Yi Qin. The palm wind was extremely powerful, and the air was folded. The power of the broken moon spread out in all directions. Damn! My eyes are going blurry. Which one is the real killer? The Mysterious Moon Prince is indeed worthy of his name. Normal people would not even be able to use 80% of their power when fighting with him. Everyone had never seen the serious Mysterious Moon Prince before. From 60 to 70 wins, it seemed like he had used all of his power, but there was a difference. For example, in the first battle, he did not even need to use all of his power to beat his opponent. In the second battle, he did not need to use all of his power either. In the third battle, he had used up a lot of his Jin Yuan. Even if he had used all of his power, it would not have been his usual power. However, right then, he was in his peak condition, and his Jin Yuan and spirit were all very abundant. It was not hard to imagine how hard it would be to fight with him in such a condition. Why do I need to guess your movements? You should be the one defending against my sword attacks. Yi Qin's mind was as clear as a mirror. He was very clear that if he were to be like the spectators in the audience seats, focusing on defending against the incoming attacks, then he would be at a disadvantage, and would be led by his opponent by the nose. A real powerful warrior would make the others follow his rhythm. If he wanted to attack, he would attack, and he would do whatever he wanted. It was not the other way around, but the other way around. The sword Qi tore apart the sky. With his body following the sword, Yi Qin directly broke through the palm wind and drew out an arc of light in the air that covered half of the stage. A surprised look flashed through the Mysterious Moon Prince's eyes. Although he had tried his best to belittle Yi Qin with his words, his actions had already listed him as a powerful enemy. That water moon palm attack was used to test Yi Chen, and there was no lack of attacks during the test. However, who would have thought that Yi Chen would not care about it at all, and would use his own pace to start the attack, which was completely different from his previous style. No special characteristics, no style. However, my illusion Dao includes the deceit Dao. The mysterious moon prince sneered. His wrist shook rapidly, and his palm power surged out. He did not seem to want to change his strategy. Pitter-patter. The sound of energy exploding rang out continuously. In the blink of an eye, the two of them had exchanged dozens of blows, and these dozens of blows belonged to only one move. Sly stab. All of a sudden, mysterious moon prince took out a chopstick-sized iron spike from his sleeve. The iron spike shot out like an aurora, piercing through the chi field between the two of them. The water moon palm attack was the obvious attack, while the sly stab was the hidden killing power. Normal warriors would be killed by this one attack. My sword Dao does not care about the existence or the non-existence. It only cares about the result. All the process is just like the moon in the water, the clouds in the sky. Yi Chen was not fooled. He shattered the iron spike with one sword attack and continued to attack, as if nothing could affect him. Or, in other words, he did not care about what kind of attack his opponent had performed. For him, all of the attacks were not important at all. What was important was the result. What? The mysterious moon prince looked shocked. He turned his body, and like a beam of light that had been refracted, he left the spot he was standing at, which made him deviate from Yi Chen's attack path. I told you, it is useless. Yi Chen's face was cold. While moving at a high speed, he turned around and waved his sword. The sky-tearing sword chi had cut the space on the stage into two, making it impossible to dodge. Damn it! Flower moon breaking heart palm. Overlapping his left and right hands, the mysterious moon prince pressed his palm into the air in front of him. Boom! It was like a super bomb had been detonated. The whole stage was blown into the air all of a sudden. Metal pieces the size of human heads shot out everywhere, spreading out at an extreme speed. What kind of fucking battle is this? It is so scary. If I go up there, I would not be able to handle one attack. No, not even half an attack. I would be killed instantly. Besides the gap in power, the gap in techniques is even bigger. They are miles ahead of us. What a horrifying young generation. I have heard that this is the era of martial geniuses. Not only in the southern regions, but also in the other three regions. Especially the central region, the Sky Martial region, I have heard that there are two super powerful martial geniuses who are not weaker than Xianhou. I did not believe it before. How could it be that easy to have martial geniuses? Since the ancient times until now, it has only happened a couple of times. But now, I believe it. This is only the Blue Mountain Island, and there are already such horrifying battles. What about the whole True Spirit continent? Who did you hear it from? I have searched the entire southern regions, and a lot of people have been talking about it. That is really impressive. Could it be that this is really the era of martial geniuses? Over at the audience seating, everyone held their breath and did not even blink their eyes. They could not hold it anymore, so they took a couple of deep breaths and chatted with each other. As they chatted, their blood started to boil even more. Although the era of martial geniuses had nothing to do with them, being in this era, they might have the chance to witness the miracles of the ancient times. They wanted to see how these countless martial geniuses would grow up, and how many of them would be left behind. Green lotus sprouts. The more powerful it is, the more powerful it becomes. On the stage that had disappeared, the battle between the two reached its climax. Of course, Yi Chen had suppressed his power, wanting to beat his opponent with the same level of power. His long sword sliced through the air, causing lotuses to blossom in the air. The sword chi sliced through the air, tearing apart the foundation of the stage. The hair in front of Mysterious Moon Prince's forehead and the clothes on his body had been reduced a bit. His eyes were cold as he activated his Jin Yuan, using his own Jin Yuan to suppress the air around him. He controlled his own realm, fighting against Yi Chen's sword realm. Right after that, waves of mirage-like palm power shot out, spreading out for thousands of miles. This was the battle that he had fought at his peak. This battle had started because of Yi Chen, and it would also end because of him. If he won, he would be able to reach a higher level and compete with the martial geniuses at the top of the pyramid. If he lost, he would definitely be quiet for a period of time in the future. Yi Chen, you will lose this battle for sure. Mysterious Moon Prince yelled. Yi Chen paid no attention to him as he performed the sword step. Yes, it was the sword step that belonged to Yi Chen. He had comprehended one part of each of the three great sword arts, and combined them into one. The sword step was the first one to show results, which was a battle step. With one step, the air around him would shatter, turning into a sharp sword chi. It was like an arrow on a bowstring, waiting to be shot out. Using the sword step to fight against Mysterious Moon Prince was a bit overkill. But, without actual battle experience, the sword step would lose its meaning. His opponent's illusion art was indeed harder to deal with than normal opponents, but it was exactly because of that made him a good grindstone. Once the sword step was performed, the chi field that Mysterious Moon Prince had created was shattered into pieces. Mysterious Moon Prince's mind was on the verge of collapsing under this attack. Tearing apart the air, Yi Chen appeared in front of Mysterious Moon Prince within a second, waving his longsword. Mirror Flower Water Moon. Mysterious Moon Prince yelled out while his body was shattered into pieces. It was like the moon in the water, shattering upon contact. They were not in the same realm. Green Lotus Chi Transformation. Countless huge green lotuses appeared outside of Yi Chen's body, wrapping him in the middle. The lotuses bloomed, and the sword chi spread out in all directions, covering everything in the sky and on the ground. Shoo! 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 Mysterious Moon Prince's body kept flashing. Every time he appeared, he would move away immediately to avoid being pierced by the sword chi. All of a sudden, he looked like he was in a mess. His clothes were torn apart, and blood spilled everywhere. Mirror Flower Water Moon. True Attack. The Mirror Flower Water Moon was one of the low-rank profound sense martial arts of the Mysterious Moon Pavilion. There was reality within the illusion, and the reality within the illusion. Without a real flower and moon, where would the Mirror Flower Water Moon come from? Everything would be created based on reality. It was a realm that even life and death realm warriors could not reach. A bright moonlight poured down. It was so real that people would not want to destroy it, because it was so real that it gave people the feeling that it was an illusion. This attack was the most powerful attack that Mysterious Moon Prince had. My sword art, one hit. Performing his sword steps, Yi Chen flew in the air, leaving a clear sword mark in the air. It moved forward with the long sword in Yi Chen's hand, forming an extremely sharp aura. The moonlight was shattered, but Yi Chen did not care. He only had one target, which was the Mysterious Moon Prince, who was in between reality and illusion. Swoosh! Blood spilled out like a sickle. Yi Chen brushed past the Mysterious Moon Prince and landed behind him, putting his sword back into its scabbard. Kneeling on the ground with one of his knees, the Mysterious Moon Prince was sweating profusely, soaking his clothes and long hair. His mind had already been broken by Yi Chen along with all the wounds on his body. In a short period of time, his condition had fallen to a new level. If he could get past this level, it might be a brand new future for him. But if he could not, then it would be an eternity of despair, and he would no longer be a top martial genius. The competition between martial geniuses had always been this cruel. Because martial geniuses did not allow their bodies to fail at the same time. Even the Mysterious Moon Prince could not stop him. What is going on? Inside the VIP room, all of the extreme astral reaching realm warriors from the Blue Mountain Nation looked at each other. This kid's achievement in sword art is unimaginable. Feng Yenro and the mysterious Moon Prince were both defeated by him. Within one day, he had defeated 2 top martial geniuses. The younger generation is indeed formidable. Could we not stop his 70 wins in a row? 5 battles. He would have to use up some of his energy. I do not believe that he could win all 10 of them. In another VIP room, Feng Yenro said with a low voice, the mysterious Moon Prince's illusion art had also been broken. My sword art had met his sword art, and it had lost even more badly. The South Rudra region had fallen for hundreds of years in exchange for the glory we have today. Give him time, and he alone would be enough to challenge all the martial geniuses in the world. Sister Feng, what are you talking about? Qing Zhu came back to reality, blinking his eyes. Feng Yenro warned, right now is the era of martial geniuses. You have to work hard, unless you get married and have kids in the future. I do not want to get married that early. I want to make a name for myself in this true spirit continent. Qing Zhu sneered. Then you are still far from it. Our head disciple went out a couple of years ago, and he has been in closed-door training ever since he came back. Do you know why? There are more martial geniuses out there than we can imagine, and it is even more horrifying. The Central Region, the Sky Martial Region, is the holy land for martial geniuses. Chapter 401. The 6th battle began. The challenger was a flirtatious young married woman. Of course, the lifespan of astral-reaching realm warriors was twice that of normal people. Although she looked like a young married woman, her real age might be even lower. Perhaps she was already in her 60s or 70s. Little brother, I admire you very much. You have to go easy on me. The young married woman winked at Yi Chen. The corner of Yi Chen's mouth curled up slightly. Ha! Right then, the young married woman's body flickered as her sleeves expanded. A long whip covered in bone spikes swept out, attempting to entangle Yi Chen. Up until now, no one had managed to attack Yi Chen. After some research, everyone agreed that Yi Chen's defense was his weakness. Indeed, they had guessed correctly. Compared to his attack and speed, Yi Chen's defense was undoubtedly weaker. Plus, he was not allowed to use weapons on the stage, which further decreased his defense. However, it was only relative. Don't forget that Yi Chen had already trained his Green Lotus Sword spell to the peak of the 13th level. Even if his cultivation base had not reached the peak of late astral reaching realm, the quantity and quality of his Jin Yuan would be more than most of the warriors at the same level. Yi Chen did not need to be arrogant and use his defense to block out the young married woman's attack. He could tell that this attack of hers was mainly about entangling and then pulling with all her strength. The long whip wriggled, and the bone spikes on it were 100 times more horrifying than a blender. Combined with the martial arts she had trained, it would be enough to break through most of the warriors' defenses. Once the defense was broken, the people inside would be at their mercy. After all, the more they struggled, the tighter the long whip would be, and the bone spikes would definitely kill them. Lifting his left index finger, a strand of Green Lotus Sword chi shot out, cutting onto the bone spikes and creating sparks. Soon after, Yi Chen's right hand lightly held onto the sword hilt. The flirtatious young woman didn't panic even though her attack had failed. She took advantage of the situation and dragged her long whip on the ground. Crack, crack, crack. A large piece of the ground that had been leveled to the ground was torn out. It flipped over and stood vertically, like a metal wall several meters thick, between the two of them. With a triumphant smile on her face, the flirtatious young woman flicked her wrist, and the bone whip became taut. It spun rapidly and pierced through Yi Chen, who was behind the metal wall. Puff! It was as if the metal wall was made of tofu. However, she no longer had the chance. The moment the metal wall was erected, Yi Chen's sword had already been unsheathed. A dazzling sword light flashed, and the metal wall was sliced in half. Yi Chen showed no mercy. With the Blue Mountain Island standard longsword infused with green lotus Jin Yuan, it was unstoppable. It instantly broke through the protective Jin Yuan of the flirtatious young lady. At this moment, the young lady's long whip had just pierced through. Fast, extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, the flirtatious young woman had been defeated. The flirtatious young woman was taken aback. She hadn't expected to be defeated so quickly. The battle hadn't even begun yet. Little brother, you're not being honest. I told you to be lenient. At the very least, you should give me a chance to show off. The flirtatious young woman stomped her foot angrily. Yi Chen spread out his hands. I was just about to say yes, but you've already attacked. The flirtatious young woman was speechless. She only wanted to catch Yi Chen off guard, but she didn't expect things to turn out the way she wanted. She had lost even faster. If she had known this earlier, she would have just fought honestly and completed the mission. In other words, this brat was simply invincible. He has won 66 battles in a row. Is he not tired at all? It's hard to say. I'm afraid that even a continuous battle would not be able to stop him. All of the extreme astral reaching realm warriors from the Blue Mountain Island were quite helpless. In the 7th, 8th, and 9th battles, Yi Chen won all of them within 10 attacks. The reason why Yi Chen was able to win 9 battles in a row was not because of his abundant Jin Yuan, which was only comparable to Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro. However, every time Yi Chen fought, he did not use too much Jin Yuan, because no one could exchange dozens or even hundreds of attacks with him. Not even one, including Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro. Therefore, after 9 battles, Yi Chen had only thrown out hundreds of attacks. In a battle between astral reaching realm warriors, it would not be a problem for them to exchange hundreds of attacks. Of course, once Yi Chen showed signs of his condition slipping, then it would be a vicious cycle. Slipping meant that his power was slipping, which meant that he would have to throw out more attacks to beat his opponent. After battles, he would be exhausted to death. But of course, this would not happen, since Yi Chen had never shown his real power, so there was no possibility of his condition slipping. Right then, the audience did not think that there would be anyone who could stop Yi Chen. He had won 9 battles in a row with ease, and he would not be able to make it through the 10th battle as well. Once the consecutive battles were over, the next 80, 90, and 100 wins would be within reach. After so many days, I did not expect that there would be another warrior with 100 wins in a row in the Blue Mountain Island. Yeah, it is almost in the bag, unless there is an astral reaching realm warrior who is even more powerful than Yi Chen. But, I do not think there will be one. There is definitely no one in the Blue Mountain Island. Even if there is, it would not be here. Excluding the top of the young generation, the powerful astral reaching realm warriors are all hidden in the rank 5 martial schools with life and death realm warriors. I heard that some of the astral reaching realm warriors who are close to the end of their lifespan have already trained their low-rank profound martial arts to 40 to 50%. If they take one more step, they might even be able to learn the profound directly. Comprehending low-rank profound martial arts to 40 to 50% is quite frightening. Low-rank profound martial arts at 20% would already be equivalent to the strongest attack of a top-rank Earth realm martial art. 40 to 50% would be several times more. Who in the astral reaching realm would be able to block it? Rank 5 martial schools are indeed rank 5 martial schools. Experts are as common as clouds in the sky. But, it is not surprising. They often receive pointers from life and death realm warriors. It would be impossible for them not to be powerful. Rank 5 martial schools also have their limits, such as cultivation realm. This is a problem that no one can solve. If one's cultivation base cannot be raised, then one's comprehension will be affected. Speaking of low-rank profound martial arts, the Wavy Cloud region has 3 people who have reached a very high level, and the Misty Snow region has the head disciple of the Misty Snow region. These young warriors already have the qualifications to compete with the top geniuses of the other regions. They are indeed very talented. But, the 4 regions near the Blue Mountain Island still have the Thunder region's Thunder Princess as their leader. The Thunder Princess is already close to being a monster. I simply cannot imagine what kind of level she is at. As the crowd continued to discuss, the 10th battle had officially begun. As the most powerful warrior among the extreme astral reaching realm warriors in the Blue Mountain Nation, the elder named Wu still had some tricks up his sleeves. He did not participate in the previous battles against Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro, because he was ranked 10th and did not need to participate. But now, he had no choice but to participate. Wan Yichen had challenged all of them. Thunder Wind. The elder named Wu's weapon was a huge sword that was as thick as an arm. The huge sword carried a thunderous might, tearing apart the sky and causing the air to explode. Sky-shattering clouds. Yichen crossed his 2 swords and slashed out, the bright sword light clashing against his opponent's attack. Peng 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 peng. The domineering old man surnamed Wu was not much weaker than Mysterious Moon Prince and Feng Yenro in terms of power. His attacks were big and powerful, and each of his sword attacks seemed to contain the power of a mountain. With a mountain compressed into a small sword, one could only imagine its power. Yi Chen's sword was even sharper. No matter how powerful his opponent's attacks were, his sword would always be able to cut through them. Moreover, at the critical moment, he would be able to block the elder's rhythm, making him unable to use his full power, or only able to use half of his power. The old power had been used up, but the new power had not been generated yet. It was the elder named Wu. Dang! The sword attack missed, and the elder named Wu did not have another chance. His huge sword had been sliced into pieces by Yi Chen, and one of the pieces flew past his face, bringing up a trail of blood. I have lost. Congratulations on your 70 wins in a row. The elder named Wu had already predicted this result, so he did not think too much about it. After the 10th battle, the whole audience was excited. Everyone was looking forward to Yi Chen's performance in the next 3 days. After 3 days, whether or not he could win 100 wins in a row would be revealed. The next day, Yi Chen did not disappoint and won 80 wins in a row. As for his opponents, they could only be described as normal. They were not even close to the ones that could take turns to fight. The Blue Mountain Nation had only sent out a couple of extreme astral reaching realm warriors to stop him. Right after that, Yi Chen had won 90 wins in a row. Even if he could not reach 100 wins in a row, with 90 wins, he would already be ranked 2nd in the astral reaching realm challenge competition. Of course, it would be impossible for him to not reach 100 wins in a row. On the 3rd day, Yi Chen won his 10th battle, and the entire Blue Water City was shaken up. 100 wins in a row. Another 100 wins in a row had been born. It seemed like it had been almost 7 years since the last one. After 7 years, he had finally won his second 100 wins in a row. A warrior with 100 wins in a row represents the Blue Mountain Nation to build a golden statue for Yi Chen. The Blue Mountain City already has a golden statue. This time, it will be the Blue Water City's turn. This is an honor that will last for a lifetime. In the future, whoever comes to the Blue Water City will see a golden statue of Yi Chen. Yi Chen did not care much about the honor of winning 100 wins in a row. The power gap was too huge, so there was no excitement in winning 100 wins in a row. The only thing that piqued his interest was the reward for 100 consecutive victories. 60 wins in a row. The first battle would be 2,000 mid-rank soul stones, the second battle would be 3,000, the third battle would be 4,000. Altogether, 65,000 mid-rank soul stones. 70 wins in a row. The first battle would be 2,200 mid-rank soul stones, the second battle would be 3,200, the third battle would be 4,200. Altogether, 67,000 mid-rank soul stones. 80 wins in a row. Altogether, 69,000. 90 wins in a row. Altogether 70,000. 100 wins in a row. Altogether, 70,000. Altogether, it would be 345,000 mid-rank soul stones. Adding the previous 290,000, it would be a total of 635,000 mid-rank soul stones. It would definitely be a huge fortune. In addition, for 50 and 100 wins in a row, besides the mid-rank soul stones, there would also be top-rank soul stones as rewards. 50 wins in a row would be 500 top-rank soul stones, and 100 wins in a row would be 3,000. Yi Chen was in need of top-rank soul stones to increase his cultivation. Now that he had 3,500 top-rank soul stones, reaching the peak level late astral reaching realm would only be a matter of time. The battles had come to an end. Next, Yi Chen was going to explore the ancient ruins. He had already promised Feng Yanro that they would go to the bottom of the Star Region Lake to search for the ruins of the puppet school. Chapter 402. 3 days later, almost everyone in the Blue Mountain Island knew about Yi Chen's 100-win streak. The history of the Blue Mountain Nation was very long, spanning thousands of years. However, the Astral Reaching Realm Challenge Tournament was only created hundreds of years ago. At that time, it was not that popular, and there were no powerful warriors participating. It was only in the recent decades that it started to gain popularity, attracting countless warriors' attention. 7 years ago, the first 100-win warrior was born. His glory was condensed on a golden statue, which was located in the Blue Mountain City for everyone to look up to. After 7 years, the second 100-win warrior was born. Compared to the first warrior, the second warrior was so young that he looked like he was only 21 years old. It was hard to tell the age of an astral reaching realm warrior, but that was only for most of the normal astral reaching realm warriors. Yi Chen looked like he was 21 years old, which meant that he had reached the astral reaching realm at the age of 21. Clasping Yuan realm warriors would not be able to slow down the aging process. According to the growth speed of martial geniuses, Yi Chen should have reached the astral reaching realm at the age of 18. Astral reaching realm warriors could live up to 200 years, and their appearance would increase twice as fast. From 18 to 21 would take 3 years, which would be 6 years. 18 plus 6 years would make him 24 years old. In other words, Yi Chen was definitely younger than 24 years old. Perhaps, 21 would be his real age. Regardless, being younger than 24 years old was already quite young, and being 21 years old would be even more shocking. To be able to become the second 100-win warrior at such a young age would undoubtedly be more convincing and legendary than the first one. Once the golden statue was built, it would be unforgettable. Looking at the foundation of the golden statue, Feng Yanro revealed a rare smile and said, "Right now, you are a legend in the Blue Mountain Island." Yi Chen shook his head, "It is just a title. I think there should be a few people in the young generation of the Misty Snow region and the Wavy Cloud region who could do it." Qingzhu pursed her lips. "Of course, if my eldest senior brother came to Blue Mountain Island, winning 100 matches in a row would be a piece of cake. 1 year ago, I had a fight with him. At that time, he was barely able to win. As for now, I have no idea. As for the Wavy Cloud region, it is said that Huang Kaishan's big brother Red Water Little Man is the #1 warrior among the young generation of the Wavy Cloud region. I think he should be able to win as well. As for the others, they are about the same level as me and the mysterious Moon Prince, and they are not that strong. I don't think it is possible for them to win 100 battles in a row." She did not overestimate her head disciple blindly. In her opinion, her head disciple might not be able to beat Yi Chen, unless he had made some shocking progress in the past year. Hearing her, Qingzhu was very depressed. Just like her senior sister Feng had said, 1 year ago, her eldest senior brother was indeed a bit of a stretch. Right now, he was probably at the same level as Yi Chen, which meant that Yi Chen was indeed very powerful, powerful enough to be mentioned in the same breath as her eldest senior brother. This made her, who still had a grudge against him, a bit annoyed. Of course, she did not hate Yi Chen, she was just being a little petulant. Let's not talk about this anymore. Going to the bottom of the lake to find the ruins of the puppet school is more important. Yi Chen said. Yeah. Feng Yanro nodded. She had heard that there was a branch of the puppet school near the Blue Mountain Island, but she did not know the exact location. Therefore, for the past 3 to 4 days, the two had been working on the plan to find the branch, and had only started to move now. Leaving the Blue Mountain Island, the three appeared on the vast Star Regional Lake. Feng Yanro said, the east side of the Blue Mountain Island has the most ancient ruins, both on the surface and in the dark. There are at least 10 of them. The possibility of the ruins being there is very small, so we will rule it out for now. There are a lot of spirit plants and tricolored pearls at the bottom of the lake on the south side of the Blue Mountain Island. There are a lot of warriors going there every day, so the possibility of it being there is very small. Otherwise, it would have been discovered long ago. You and your sister disciple will form a team, and I will form a team myself. We will split up and meet here at noon. We will report our results to each other. Yi Chen suggested. Yeah, we will go first then. Feng Yanro and Qingzhu flashed their bodies, turning into 2 beams of light and diving into the bottom of the lake. After dozens of blinks of an eye, they had disappeared from Yi Chen's soul power. I think it will take at least 10 days to half a month to get any results. Yi Chen let out a breath and dove into the bottom of the lake from another angle. The pressure in the lake had increased drastically, and the deeper he went, the more intense it became. Reaching 5,000 meters, Yi Chen could not even maintain 2 times the speed of sound anymore. 10,000 meters, he could only maintain 200 meters in a second, which meant that the consumption of Zhen Yuan had increased drastically. It was about 3 times more than on land, and it was still because Yi Chen had trained the Green Lotus Sword spell, which was extremely sharp, which made it easier for him to travel in the water than warriors at the same level. The Blue Mountain Island had a radius of 10,000 miles. After reaching 10,000 meters, one would be able to see the bottom of the island, which was in a slope shape. There were a lot of fish at the bottom of the lake, and occasionally, there would be traces of beasts. These beasts seemed to have realized that Yi Chen was not someone to be messed with, so they all took a detour or dove into the mud. Making a mark at this place, Yi Chen released his soul power and moved forward. His plan was to travel 50,000 miles in one direction, and then continue moving forward in a straight line from 80 miles to the side of the mark. As for why he wanted to do this, it was because his sword spirit embryo had given birth to the light of will, and the range of his soul power had increased to 80 miles. Therefore, he had decided on this plan. With a speed of 200 meters in 1 second, or 3,000 miles in 2 hours, Yi Chen moved at an extremely fast speed. Occasionally, he would find something strange, and then he would stop to study it. During this time, he had also seen some warriors who were exploring the bottom of the lake. Once the 2 sides made contact, their faces would change drastically, and they would immediately run away. Yi Chen was the second warrior with 100 wins in a row in the Blue Mountain Island, and this place was the bottom of the Star Region Lake. If Yi Chen had any evil intentions, it would be too late for them to cry. The days of exploration were extremely boring. By the end of the day, it was already noon of the second day, and Yi Chen had only traveled 25,000 miles. Of course, that was because he had to get back to the starting point at noon, so he had to be a little bit earlier. At the gathering point, Feng Yanro said, I have not found anything here. Me too. This is a bottle of 100 spirits pellet for Zhen Yuan replenishment. You take it first. The Zhen Yuan consumed at the bottom of the lake is beyond my imagination. Feng Yanro handed over a jade bottle. Yi Chen glanced at him and reached out to take the jade bottle, many thanks. The 100 spirits pellet was not a pellet that could be found in the market. In terms of Zhen Yuan replenishment, it was already a top-grade pellet. According to the grade, it was definitely the top of the mid-rank pellets. One pellet was worth 500 mid-rank spirit stones, and this bottle contained 20 pellets, which would be worth 10,000 mid-rank spirit stones. For a consumable pellet, its value was ridiculously high. Since the two of them were working together, Yi Chen could not just reject it. After all, once he found the ruins of the puppet school, the value would be way more than this bottle of 100 spirits pellet. After resting for a while, the three continued to dive into the bottom of the lake. After half a month, there was not even a shadow of the puppet school left. However, Feng Yanro managed to find a smaller ruin and found some small stuff, which was a kind of consolation prize. Yi Chen did not come back empty-handed either. He had found some rare metal ores in the deep part of the mud, which contained metals that could be used to forge great weapons. It might be useful in the future. On the 18th day, Yi Chen continued to move around the bottom of the lake. Although we have divided into two groups, we have not even explored 1% of the area so far. We can only try our luck. Luck was the most important factor in exploring the ruins. Without luck, even if you worked 100 times harder than others, you might not be able to find anything. But with luck, you might be able to find something in 1 or 2 days. 10,000 meters below the lake, time seemed to have slowed down a lot. It was completely silent, and a blue light spot was moving at a fast speed, looking very small. Taking out the huge water bottle, Yi Chen frowned. It was almost time to gather, so he decided to go back first. Yi Chen was about to move up when his soul power suddenly sensed a wave of intense vibration. Tear. Cut. What kind of vibration is this? Out of curiosity, Yi Chen approached the vibration quickly. The closer he was to the vibration, the more Yi Chen could sense how horrifying it was. This vibration had the power to threaten top astral-reaching realm warriors, and it was only Yi Chen's initial estimation. The real power would have to be seen with his own eyes. Soon, Yi Chen arrived at the vibration site. In his sight, there was a huge black crack on the bottom of the lake. Inside the crack, white gold chi flow shot out. Wherever this white gold chi flow went, the lake water could not even get close to it. All of it had been turned into nothingness, turning that area into a world of white gold chi flow. Taking out a low-rank weapon from his storage ring, Yi Chen threw it into the white gold chi flow. Shoo! 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 Something shocking happened. The extremely hard low-rank weapon started to break down at a speed visible to the naked eye. Of course, it was only the naked eye. With his soul power, Yi Chen could clearly see that this chi flow was made up of countless tiny needle lights. The low-rank weapon had been cut into pieces by the needle lights, then disappeared completely. Bone disappearing chi. This is the bone disappearing chi. Yi Chen took a deep breath. With the rich knowledge of the Battle King, Yi Chen immediately knew the name of this white gold chi flow. The chi flow was actually also yuan chi, but it was made up of 2 or more types of yuan chi. If more yuan chi was combined, then it might turn into a godly light. For example, before the lake outside of the Heaven Dream Battle Palace, there was a 7-colored destructive godly light. The destructive godly light only existed in the 3rd level of the heaven top sky, and could even kill Sea of Souls realm warriors. Although the chi was not as powerful as the godly light, it was still quite dangerous. Some of the chi that had combined 3 or 4 types of yuan chi already had the possibility of killing Sea of Souls realm warriors. The bone disappearing chi was made up of the gold yuan chi and the wind yuan chi. The gold yuan chi was extremely sharp without even thinking about it, and the wind yuan chi was only second to the gold yuan chi. The combination of the 2 types of yuan chi would have a horrifying destructive power. Once touched by the bone disappearing chi, one would not be able to describe it as being cut into pieces. It would be hundreds or even thousands of times worse. The body would be turned into nothingness within a second, which was why it was called the bone-disappearing qi. Of course, no matter how powerful the bone-disappearing qi was, it was only made up of 2 types of yuan qi. Yi Chen was still confident that he could handle it. However, he did not know how powerful it would be down there, so he would have to be extra careful. Otherwise, he would not be able to escape at all. Let me explore a bit first. Yi Chen swallowed 100 spirit pellet and pushed his Jin Yuan with all of his power, forming a blue protective layer outside his body. He then entered the white gold qi flow at a moderate speed. Pap. 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 All of a sudden, his protective Jin Yuan had been attacked countless times, and the outer layer of Jin Yuan started to thin out. Fortunately, Yi Chen kept on operating his Green Lotus Sword spell to maintain the balance. Chapter 403. Activating his Jin Yuan, Yi Chen slowly descended, diving into the huge crack at the bottom of the lake. The consumption of Jin Yuan is way too fast. It is more than 100 times faster than in the water, and 300 times faster than on land. Yi Chen was shocked. Every second, a huge amount of protective Jin Yuan would be destroyed by the bone-disappearing qi. If he did not have Jin Yuan replenishing pellets, he would run out of Jin Yuan sooner or later, and be sliced into pieces. After diving down for a few thousand meters, Yi Chen arrived at a massive underground world, which was filled with the bone-disappearing qi. Behind the qi, there was a light silver light shining, which was a hemispherical silver light cover. The silver light cover was unbelievably huge, and under Yi Chen's soul power, it was at least dozens of miles in diameter. Inside the light cover, there were countless buildings that were built one after another. These buildings were different from the normal ones, as they were all made of hard wood. Occasionally, through the broken walls, one could see countless gears stuck together, and some places were inlaid with spirit stones. Gears, spirit stones. It is most likely the ruins of the branch of the puppet school. Yi Chen did not rush into the silver light cover. Right now, he needed to inform Feng Yenro, since he was not the kind of person who would take all the benefits for himself. It did not fit his sword art. Getting out of the crack, Yi Chen increased his speed. After leaving this place, he rushed out of the water, just in case the others found the ruins. At the meeting point, Feng Yenro and Qingzhu were standing there. Senior Sister Feng, it has been 18 days. What if we still cannot find it? Qingzhu asked. Feng Yenro said, no rush. Be patient. Qingzhu was about to say something when she saw a blue light shooting over from afar. Landing on the ground, Yi Chen said, you too, I have found the ruins of the puppet school. Really? Qingzhu looked happy. The past 18 days had been too boring for her, and constantly using her spirit power had exhausted her. Hearing Yi Chen's words, she felt happy for the first time. Feng Yenro smiled, it seems like inviting Mr. Yi was the right choice. There were 2 meanings in her words. One was that Yi Chen was very lucky. Without him, it would have taken them forever to find the ruins of the puppet martial school. If he was unlucky, they might not have found it at all. The second meaning was that Yi Chen had found the ruins of the puppet martial school and came back immediately to inform them. It was obvious that he was a worthy friend. After all, how many people would not be greedy when facing the ruins of the rank 5 martial institution, the puppet martial school, which used to dominate the whole true spirit continent? No wonder his sword art is so terrifying. Even the puppet school's branch ruins could not shake his heart. Feng Yenro sighed in her heart. She admired Yi Chen even more. In order to not attract attention, the 3 of them dove into the bottom of the lake when they were still tens of thousands of miles away from their destination. Then, the 3 of them put a small distance between themselves and each released their mental powers, working together to set up a huge mental power detection net. Anyone who approached would be detected by them. After a while, the 3 of them arrived at their destination. Feng Yenro frowned, is this not the bone-disappearing qi? Yi Chen nodded, indeed. This is the bone-disappearing qi made from the combination of the gold yuan qi and the wind yuan qi. Without the defense of extreme astral-reaching realm warriors, it would be destroyed soon. Of course, Miss Feng does not need to worry. Miss Qingzhu, you will have to use your ice snow sword realm to protect yourself. Is it really that scary? Qingzhu did not believe it. She took out a low-rank spirit weapon from her storage ring. Without Jin Yuan, a low-rank spirit weapon's toughness was almost the same as her protective Jin Yuan. If this low-rank weapon was undamaged, it meant that the bone-disappearing qi would not be able to threaten her at all. Swoosh! Within 3 blinks of an eye, the low-rank weapon had been broken down completely. Oh my, it is real. Qingzhu stuck out her tongue. Feng Yenro said, alright, stop messing around. Hurry up and use your ice snow sword realm. Let's go down together. Just like that, Qingzhu followed behind Yi Chen and Feng Yenro with her ice snow sword realm protection, disappearing into the white gold bone disappearing qi and moving downward slowly. It is indeed the qi. Its power is at least 4 times more powerful than the pure gold yuan qi or wind yuan qi. Luckily, it has only combined 2 kinds of yuan qi. With one more, its power would increase exponentially. Only Sea of Souls realm warriors would be able to enter this place. Feng Yenro frowned as she thought to herself. Inside the underground world, the 3 each took 100 spirit pellet, maintaining their Jin Yuan at all times. It is indeed the ruins of the puppet martial school. However, most of the buildings here are made of wood. Of course, these are not normal wood, but the extremely rare psychic wood. It has its own spirituality, and its yuan qi flow is almost the same as a great weapon. That gear should be controlling some kind of mechanism. Feng Yenro's mental power shot into the silver light cover, and she was shocked. This silver light cover is not simple. Perhaps we will have to think of a way to get in. Yi Chen approached the silver light cover and touched it with his hand. Sizzle, the light cover and the Jin Yuan touched each other, bringing out electric sparks from the friction. Its power is about the same as normal Sea of Souls realm warriors using their protective Jin Yuan. Yi Chen continued to say. Qingzhu yelled, the protective Jin Yuan of normal Sea of Souls realm warriors. Then, we would not be able to get in. Do we have to go back to the floating snow martial school and ask for the great master? Feng Yenro looked around and said hesitantly, this silver light cover is not man-made. I think there should be a weak spot somewhere, right? Yi Chen chuckled, indeed, I have already found one. But, this weak spot is not completely weak either. It is sometimes calm and sometimes intense, and the time it stays calm is 10 times longer than the time it stays intense. We will have to break it when it is at its most intense. Let me do it. It was not that Feng Yenro was being arrogant, but judging on power, she was naturally not an opponent for Yi Chen. But, when the ice snow sword realm turned into its attacking mode, its power would be extremely powerful. Even extreme astral reaching realm warriors at the same level would be badly wounded if they were hit by this attack. Yi Chen did not say anything. If she could break it, then it would be great. But, if not, then he would have to do it himself. Taking a deep breath, Feng Yenro performed her sword spell. A circle of white gold light appeared out of her body, replacing her protective Jin Yuan. This time, she did not let go of her protective Jin Yuan first, since it was surrounded by the bone-disappearing qi. If her protective Jin Yuan were to shatter first, then she would not even have the time to perform her ice snow sword realm. Her spirit power spread out to the weak spot that Yi Chen had mentioned. Feng Yenro closed her eyes and carefully felt the vibration there. When the vibration was the most intense, it would be the time for her to attack. The first vibration was extremely intense, but Feng Yenro did not attack at all. It was the same for the second time, and the third time, she had finally grasped the pattern. She took out her longsword and threw out an attack a blink of an eye. Sword realm cut. The sword light inside the ice snow sword realm followed Feng Yenro's sword aura and poured out, landing on a certain spot on the silver light cover. Cracking noises could be heard as circles of patterns spread out. The light cover was getting thinner and thinner at a visible speed. However, it seemed like the sword light was not enough to shatter it all at once, since the silver light cover was trying to replenish its energy. Right at that moment, Yi Chen took out his destruction sword and threw out a sword attack. It was the perfect timing. Pooh! The light cover was shattered, and a 1-foot-long hole appeared. Yi Chen pushed his power and sliced it open, extending it to the height of a human. You guys go in first. Feng Yenro and Qingzhu knew that it was a rare opportunity. Their bodies flashed, entering the light cover within a second. Yi Chen was like a parasite, following them closely. When Yi Chen turned his head back, the cracked light cover had already been repaired. A rank 5 martial institution is indeed a rank 5 martial institution. Even a branch has the protection of a Sea of Souls realm warrior. It is kind of like the protective shield of the demon-resisting fortress in the Blood Demon battlefield. Yi Chen shook his head and focused on the inside of the light cover. The first thing that entered his sight was a huge palace in front of him. The three arrived outside of the palace. They hesitated a little bit before stepping in. The palace was very spacious, with 2 red wooden pillars supporting it. There were 18 of them in total, each of which was thicker than a table and 33 meters tall. Flowers, birds, fishes, insects, dragons, phoenixes, tigers, and leopards were carved on the surface. There seemed to be a light flow of light shining on them. Crack! The wall on the side of the palace suddenly cracked open, and a human figure shot out at an extreme speed. His whole body was covered in red chi flow as he threw out a blade attack toward Yi Chen. Yi Chen frowned as he shook his wrist. The destruction sword drew a beautiful arc in the air, crossing over with the red figure. Crack! A round object fell down. It was a head, made of wood. Its eyes were 2 unknown gems that shone with a red light. The light was dimming down as if it had lost its life force. Looking at its body, it was also made of wood, and it was wearing an expensive armor. The armor was a perfect fit with its body, and some parts were even connected to each other. Now, this headless body was quietly standing 3 meters away, and it didn't fall. It is the puppet warrior from the puppet martial school. Feng Yenro's eyes brightened. Yi Chen did not know any less than Feng Yenro. The puppet warrior was the most common type of puppet in the puppet martial school. Its power was equivalent to an astral-reaching realm warrior, which was way more powerful than the wooden men from the Sky Cloud martial school. With a puppet warrior right next to him, an astral-reaching realm warrior would have an extra powerful warrior that was no weaker than him. However, first, he would have to leave his own spirit mark inside the puppet warrior's body, and he would have to constantly replenish it. Once the spirit mark was weakened, the puppet warrior would not be able to be controlled. Besides, the puppet warrior needed a huge amount of top-rank soul stones as its power source. Mid-rank soul stones would not be able to support it at all. Unfortunately, this puppet warrior is already useless. In this world, there are not many people who can fix it. Feng Yenro thought to herself. At the same time, she was shocked by Yi Chen's power. Judging on battling power, although it was only as powerful as a normal astral-reaching realm warrior, its defense was extremely powerful. Even an extreme astral-reaching realm warrior would only be able to leave a wound on its body, and would not be able to cut off its head instantly. In her eyes, Yi Chen was extremely mysterious and powerful. No one knew how powerful he really was. Qingzhu said sadly, "You are too wasteful. A puppet warrior is worth hundreds of times more than that chicken puppet, and you just destroyed it like that." Yi Chen forced a laugh. "I think there should be more than one puppet warrior in this palace." "You are right. Let's keep going." The building of the puppet school is a huge mechanism, and it has a lot of connections with the puppet warriors. Once we touched the mechanism, we might be able to see a second one. Yi Chen's guess was right. As the three continued to walk for another dozen steps, another crack appeared on the wall of the palace, and the second puppet warrior rushed out. It was wrapped in a light blue chi flow, with electric currents flashing around it. It stabbed out a spear towards Feng Yenro, who was the closest to it. Feng Yenro yelled, her longsword blocking out the spear in her opponent's hand. Thousands of electric flames exploded. Ting! Right then, Yi Chen flicked his finger and shot out a beam of green lotus sword chi, blowing away the long spear in the puppet warrior's hand. After losing its weapon, the puppet warrior was still as aggressive as ever. It clenched its fists and continued to battle with Feng Yenro. Feng Yenro did not use her ace attacks either, but instead, she was playing a war of attrition with the puppet warrior. Before the top-ranked soul stones inside its body were used up, there was no way to stop it, unless it was destroyed directly like what Yi Chen did earlier. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.